Welcome to Danger and Danielle's Tactical Breakdown. We're going to take a look back to last Saturday where the Earthquakes took on NYCFC and lost by a margin of 2-1. Now, we thought that set pieces might play a role, and they certainly did in the game. Let's start there, Danger. Let's look first at the first goal, corner kick opportunity, and a goal for the Earthquakes early on in the game. Yeah,
we wanted to talk about the set pieces because for New York City FC, Patrick Vieira likes to use zonal marking, and that's important because it allows players to attack the ball in those areas. On this first goal by the Earthquakes, it all comes down to service on set pieces. It always does. And Magnus Eriksson, he's tried a few times this season already to whip these corner kicks in. This one is perfect. Yep. It's attacked by Quintana at the near post. And because it's zonal marking by New York City FC and Quintana is allowed to attack that space, there's really nothing that New York City FC could do to stop a well-executed set piece.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody's running at full speed and makes contact with the ball, I don't care how physical, how great you are, if you're standing still, you're just not going to get there first. And I know Taylor Twellman was talking a lot about it. I don't like zonal marking either for corner kick pieces, so great for the Earthquakes to take an advantage of that.
Yeah, one at the training ground, Stevie Ralston, I'm sure, you know, that's thumbs up. I mean, that was a great start for the Earthquakes.
Mm-hmm. Now, they also gave up a goal on a corner kick opportunity early on in the second half by NYCFC. What's your assessment of that?
Now, we have a little bit of a conflict on this one. I think there could have been fouls on this particular play by the New York City FC defenders. And the reason I say that is because one idea that the referees have been told to focus on, a point of contention or going forward, is for pulling, pushing, screening in the penalty area. And I thought that both Godoy and Huson were basically prohibited from getting out to that space where the shot from Tinnerholm was taken. Now, after saying that, you could give him a bucket of balls and he couldn't do that one again, right? I mean, it's a fabulous shot. Would they have saved it? Would they have blocked it? There's nothing that Tarbell could do. But it was a set play by New York City FC, and I think a possible foul on the play.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I haven't seen the referees call it, make that decision yet. And we'll see if it continues to remain a point of emphasis for the referees looking forward. But how about just a couple minutes later, Chris Wondolowski with another great opportunity. Couldn't get on target, though.
Yeah, it comes down to zonal marking again. On this one, the score is 1-1. Critical time in the game for the Quakes to react to going down. So get the tying goal by New York City FC, and a great opportunity for Wondo. And I think if you look at it, he's attacking the ball. The New York City defenders are stationary. He's found a good seam in their defense. It's a great ball in again by Vacco, and the captain has to hit the target.
So overall, let's reflect on kind of the first half highlights as a whole. To me, NYCFC was the better team. They had more of the possession. They kept the ball more. What I did like from the Earthquakes was the fact that they were able to stay compact and stay collective and stay tight when NYCFC would string together 10, 15 passes at a time. So I did like that. What did you like about the first half? What could have been better?
Well, when you've got the early lead, and it's great scouting, it's a great play, it's a set piece, they worked on it, they got the very important first goal. I thought it was an opportunity. No David Villa in the team, no Alexander Ring in the midfield. You haven't got that sort of explosive concern that get behind the Quakes defensively that Villa can really cause problems. I would like to see the Quakes go for it a little bit more when they got 1-0 up. Yes, use the high press, but take a little bit of a risk. Leave that wide winger open. Maybe leave Cummings one-on-one with Biguette that really wasn't that good up front, right? And make sure that you're organized and you're tighter together as a group, more compact to press and win the ball back. There's going to be times when a quality team, and they are probably the best in the league at doing this, have the ability to play out from the back, and they did it a couple of times. And yes, then you may have a problem because it could be 2-on-2, going the other way, or even 3-on-3, that type of scenario. But I would have liked to see the Quakes here at home, after getting the early goal, push Wondo a little bit higher, press their back four, make sure that Flo and Godoy are organised in the midfield, tuck Vacco in a little bit more, maybe even tuck Nick Lima in a little bit more, leave that guy open, and let's try and win that ball there and get that second goal.
So one of the things that I thought was pretty good in the first half, and I would say throughout the whole game was really the positioning and the two center midfielders for the Earthquakes, Flo and Anibal Godoy. I think they're very balanced. I don't think that you clearly have one of them who is an attacker, one of them who's a defender right now. They both really interchange and share the roles. I like the balancing. I like the spacing for them on attack more so than I would say defensively. And I like their ability both to be able to serve balls forward and play the ball in. I thought Anibal had a couple of really good balls in transition, looking to get in behind to Vaco in that first half. And Anibal is somebody who has the ability to do that, and Flo really can balance off that when he does. I think Flo has that defensive mindset, so he might end up throughout the season playing a little bit more defensively. But all in all, I'm going to continue to watch those two. I think it's a key area of the field for the Earthquakes throughout the season. But against a team that can possess the ball pretty well in NYCFC, I thought they did okay. What do you think?
No, I think they did well as a partnership. And when I talk about the midfield being organised, it's the outsides coming in to help, especially when it's 2 against 3. But yes, I think the balance is good with those two. I'm disappointed again with Godoy getting the yellow card as he did. He's got to stop that because, you know, it's a ball that he doesn't need to make that challenge. And it puts him in a position in the 30-something minute of having to worry about another yellow card, stops him being as much aggressive in that position, which is a massive part of his game. I know you were a little bit concerned about Flo maybe getting a little bit sucked in to worry about things defensively behind him in the back four as well.
And for me, what happens defensively is when the two center backs get a little bit stretched or when the Quakes are unorganized, the solution seems to be either Anibal Godoy or Florian Ljungwirth filling into that center back role. That's their first instinct. To me, tactically, I would rather see the 4 defenders sort out that space and shift better left to right as opposed to pulling a midfielder out and pulling them into the back line. Now, the Quakes have given up a few goals, so sorting that out is going to be important defensively and figuring out where that number and the support is going to come from. But I'd like to see those midfielders stay in the midfield so that they can get better pressure in the ball a little bit higher up the field. So at the beginning of the second half, I noticed what I thought was a tactical change by Patrick Vieira. Medina moves up top to that center forward position, and Schradi moves from the left to the right. That's NYCFC's left side to their right side. Yeah. So now you've got that matchup between Schradi and Shea Salinas. I thought Schradi was fantastic. I thought he kept Nick Lima pretty busy and occupied in that first half, and I thought he was a big contributor in the second goal that NYCFC scored, and I think that change of sides might have had something to do with it.
Yeah, Baguette was sort of the number 9 target forward, very ineffective in the first half. I think Vieira was trying to get something out of him, and that switch, moving Schradi over to the right-hand side, it created the goal in the 59th minute.
Yeah, and the thing is Schradi is dynamic and agile over 5 yards. So is Shea Salinas, but Schradi's top of the league when it comes to that, and he's
playing
shown
well with confidence at the moment.
Yes, and he's shown that early on in the season so far. So he takes a touch, beats Shea Salinas around the outside, which I'm okay with. That's going to happen time to time. It wasn't like that was some horrible defensive decision by Shea Salinas. That happens when you've got dynamic wingers out there. So Schradi takes a dynamic touch, beats him to the end line, gets his head up, and makes a very, very smart decision. And it wasn't a one-time finish. He takes a touch and then strikes the ball, which means he's got clearly time to be able to take those 2 touches.
So a disappointing goal at the time, and the team went down 2-1. But I thought after that, very good reaction by the whole of the club. Played the whole 94 minutes, even right at the end. Nick Lee was clearing one off the line, right? So there was a lot of good stuff that happened from that point on. Lots of shots peppered on the goal. 9 saves by Sean Johnson.
Yeah, and for me, it was Vaco in that final 30 minutes who continued to have opportunity after opportunity. Lots of shots from distance, though. The question I have is, can he get a little bit closer to goal? Can he, as he did, draw those defenders and then get his head up and look for that slip pass instead of striking it from maybe 15, 18 yards out? That's, to me, where I think the nuance can maybe be a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's a player playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, and rightfully so, not only with the Quakes, but also his national team, scoring great goals. And he was the player who looked like he had a goal in him on the evening, had the most shots. He was drawing defenders to him because New York City FC knew that what he was going to do. He's going to cut inside on his right. Maybe he's got to get something else in his game, and that is when you've got a lot of numbers and players willing to get in the box. Eriksson from the right side, Wando, Huson, maybe Godoy being box to box, getting in there as well. Quincy Amarikwa at that time is on the field. Vako, yes, he's taking his shots, and I don't blame him, and he should be taking those shots, but now and again, maybe get your head up and see if you can slide one in there for one of those guys as well. Just add a little bit something to
unpredictability. I agree. So, unfortunate result for the San Jose Earthquake, suffering a 2-1 defeat to NYCFC, but off to Philadelphia next weekend, and then back here at Avaya against Houston on April 14th. Make sure you come and check us out for that game. Also, too, we got to talk about Zlatan.
You got to do it, right?
He had just an incredible debut in Major League Soccer, and who knows if he's going to be able to keep it up, but man, what a bang.
Well, you know, you've got to get those Classico tickets now, Earthquakes, because Zlatan's coming. Yes. And what is he going to bring us? Zlatan.
So that game's going to be up at Stanford, not until the end of June, but make sure to get on that right away because you know that is going to be a game that you don't want to miss. This was Danger and Danielle's Tactical Breakdown. Thanks for joining us.